And this is how you fix your foot tightness and pain for things like plantar fasciitis, heel pain, bunion pain, anything that pertains to the foot. What you'll need, either two smaller balls, like a specific trigger point rolling ball, lacrosse ball will do. And if you don't happen to have those, you could also use a metal water bottle. What we want to focus on here are the three major muscles of the foot. They all reside at the bottom of the foot. So this is what we're going to do. Step one is always going to be inhibition. So we're going to get the ball, or in this case, I'll show you with the water bottle as well. Yeah, let's go with the most convenient tool here. We're going to place it on the floor. We're going to make sure that we're nice and balanced. Then we're just going to bring the foot nice and flat on top of the water bottle or the balls. And then we're going to roll from the balls of the feet to the heel. So what we're looking for here is any tightness or any soreness of these muscles. The first muscle that we'll target, it runs right down the middle of the foot. And what you're going to do when you come across a tight spot, you're going to stop right on top of it. You're going to apply as much pressure as you possibly can. Now, if you can plant the heel on the floor, that would be ideal, but if you can't, no worries. After hanging out for about a minute to a minute and a half, you'll notice that that muscle will relax in that soreness. Once you perceive that decrease in tightness and in soreness, you're going to move the toes all the way up, like you're trying to pick your nose with the big toe, and then all the way down, like you're trying to grab something off the floor. You're going to go ahead and do that 4 or 5 times, slow and controlled, as you breathe in through your nose all the way down to your diaphragm. Showing you with the smaller ball, we're going to target the next muscle of the bottom of the foot, which is going to be your arch muscle. For this, we're going to go sideways, and then we're going to place the tool right along the arch. So the bottom of the foot is not going to be flat, it's going to be pointing out. And once again, you're going to balance yourself, and we're going to roll from the balls of the feet to the heel. Once again, you're going to stop at the spot that you feel the most sore or the most tension. From there, you're going to plant the heel, and you're going to breathe it out. You're going to meditate for a good 60 seconds to 90 seconds. Now, for some people, this might be so tight that you're not going to be able to apply all of your pressure. If this is you, then that's all right. This is as far as you can go. However, if you can keep going forward, we're going to do the same thing we did with the muscle in the middle of the foot. We're going to go ahead and we're going to curl our toes in like we're picking something up from the floor, and then we're going to unfurl them, stretching the toes all the way up to the face, as close to the face as you can. We're going to go ahead and repeat that 3 or 4 times. And lastly, we're going to have the muscle on the outside of the foot. So you can see clearly I'm going to face the camera. And this is going to be a little bit tougher because we're going to have to supinate our foot to reach it. So it's a small space right at the edge of the foot, so be careful. And once again, like before, you're just going to follow the line between the balls of your feet to your heel. Once again, you're going to find the point that is the most sore, and we're going to stop on it. For me, I don't have a spot, so I'll just choose the center. And in this case, we're going to do what we did before. We're going to plant our heel on the floor, and then we're going to curl our toes in, and then we're going to stretch them all the way up. Three and 4. All right, and there you have it. There's only 3 muscles to the bottom of the feet. So once you do that, we move into our second stage, which is the strengthening stage. So what typically causes tightness at the bottom of our feet is normally a lack of connection to the muscles of the posterior chain of the leg and the hips. However, we can localize this, and we can do some exercises that will release the tension locally. One of those exercises is ankle flexion and dorsiflexion. So what we can do, we can set ourselves up in a split squat position, 90 degrees all around. And what we're gonna try to do is we're gonna try to take our knee as far forward as possible without lifting the heel up. Okay, you'll notice if you watch your heel, you might go ahead and lift it up and it might feel like it's on the floor. But I want you to double check visually and make sure that the heel remains planted on the floor. Ideally, according to textbooks, you want about what, like 3 centimeters of space of distance between your knee and your toes. Not everybody's gonna reach that, but ideally we wanna be able to aim for that. The next thing you can do, or moving forward, is whenever you do exercises like the plank, for example, try not to let the heels dive down towards the floor and stretch the hamstring. What you want to be able to do is flex the muscles or extend the muscles of the feet while keeping them engaged. The same thing's going to happen for the split squat. I see most people, as you can see from the back of the foot, end up getting the heel down to the floor and stretching their calves instead of applying the pressure to their big toes. Okay? Allowing the heel to drop and stretching the hamstring is going to give you all sorts of problems around the knee, the ankle, and the foot area. So make sure you're using those very same muscles that we just released to engage and to stabilize the entire foot. And there you have it. Those are the SMR and the strengthening exercises to eliminate foot pain.